God is good. God is good all the time. This is a great morning. Congratulations to Glenn Youngkin for winning the Republican nomination to run as our leader and representative for governor of Virginia to face off against any one of those pieces of trash on the Democrat side. Now, it still ain't over, people. We're still waiting for one piece of trash, Amanda Chase, to make a decision whether she is going to support the nominee or if she is going to run independent and do what she does best. One of the things I'm going to tell people at this time frame, do not underestimate this chick at all. Not one bit. If Kim Kardashian can get rich and wealthy over a sex tape and bad publicity, don't think Amanda Chase can't either, with basically running as an independent on bad publicity. And anybody knows bad publicity can be good publicity depending on how you use it. However, she did say that if anybody but Pete Snyder won the nomination, she would back him. Obviously, that did not happen last night. And today, there's no decision coming from that side. Now, to the other candidates that wasted $14,000 to be on the ballot. How does it feel right now? Doesn't feel good, I know. But one of the things I'm going to tell y'all are no longer pieces of trash in my book. Y'all have earned my respect and support, and you are to be considered as leaders for the future of the Republican Party, as well as my fellow brothers and sisters. We may fight, we may not always get along, but like a family, we find a way to get it right and come back and become united. I have nothing but respect and gratitude for all of those who went those long sleepless nights, had multiple interviews throughout the day, having to find out you will be driving 4 hours around the state just to find time to drive yourself back home. To all those who was in those forums and also at those committee meetings and visiting those businesses that Northam destroyed or fined or punished, whatever the tyrant wanted to do. You showed empathy where others didn't from the other side. You showed a fight during a pandemic that people needed to see, to know that there will be a better tomorrow under your leadership or anybody's leadership coming from the Republican Party. We all was censored in one way or the other. It wasn't just me, it wasn't just Amanda Chase, it was everybody being attacked by the far left. They didn't want this to happen, people. They didn't even want us to even have a nominee. And if we did, it's going to be the one that they selected. Thank God that did not happen. With Pete Snyder, we may not agree on core principles that I cannot turn away from, like the Castle Doctrine and more. But how you gave your concession to Glenn Youngkin and said that you will have his back 100%. You showed exactly what the Republican Party is all about. Coming back together, unifying the party, and making sure our country comes first, not our own ego. Sergio De La Pena, you and your family has been great friends to me and my family, and we love you and your family for that. You ran an honest campaign. You didn't back down to the establishment, nor did you buckle at the sight of Marxists on the streets. You gave a clear path of how you would handle business, and you showed Virginia and your supporters that it's not just about fighting on the battlefield, it's also about fighting here in your country for everything that is about and the freedoms that you swore to protect, foreign or domestic, as far as those terrorists and being against them. I can say without a shadow of a doubt, Glenn Youngkin and De La Pena was my number one and number two. No doubt about it. They didn't buy my support. They didn't try to bribe me with any gifts. They did it straight up. And I'm going to say that has everybody talking about why Glenn Youngkin is one of the two, regardless of the situation, should become the next governor. And De La Pena, I wouldn't have been disappointed at all at you becoming governor because you made a comeback where people had you counted out. Now to Kirk Cox, the teacher, the career politician. There's nothing that we can do or express our gratitude for your hard work and service for this great Commonwealth of Virginia. Regardless of the arguments about term limits or your vote for Medicaid expansion, we cannot fill your shoes ever, in this lifetime or not. We wasn't given that gift by God to be in your place. I saw a man who put his faith and put this great Commonwealth before those who tried to pull him by the puppet strings. It's one thing to have numerous lobbyists and politicians as friends, but you can't help that being in the situation that you was in. You handled your campaign with civility. You showed a great measure of leadership that hasn't been seen before, where even enemies can show respect, but you chose the latter, not the negative publicity for headlines or being taken as a joke, but instead to show serious and consistent leadership. Yes, the state has went from red to blue, but the fact is, it's not all on you for that. It's us as the Republican Party together that made that happen. And it's going to be us together to fix the mess. Now to Peter Durant and Octavia Smith. I met Peter Durant. He never backed down from nobody. He fought his race. And he continued even though they didn't give him a shot in hell. But he cared about making sure people knew where he stood by trying to start a grassroots movement. He didn't back down. He showed backbone and spine that can't be measured by rhinos and those in the establishment. It only can be measured by God and those that recognize leadership because they fought against the establishment. I am proud of everybody, especially our youth. Those who knocked on doors, who signed up delegates, talked to voters when their candidate couldn't be present about who they are and what they represent. It shows we have a bright future here in the Republican Party, and we got those who are driven to take on the baton to make sure we continue to reach great heights and continue our business of being there for the people, showing equality and inclusion, showing diversity and making sure that people did not hold us into one small bag. Y'all light shine bright to let everybody know that y'all welcome here when all these monsters on the left have decided that they are going to be our oppressors. You have showed us that you're willing to fight the fight after we are long gone. I am truly blessed. I can say that without a doubt. To run all over this great Commonwealth of Virginia, firing up crowds and doing what I do best, not backing down to the establishment, whooping ass for this country, taking on Marxists and making sure people know clearly you do not tell me what to do and how to act and how to behave. I made that very, very clear. And I'm proud of that. I didn't run off the fact of having a lot of money. I ran on the fact I'm the ultimate outsider that doesn't believe in the bullshit that the Republican Party has became here in Virginia. President Trump is exactly the reason why I changed parties along with going to God. Because it was the right thing to do as I saw Democrats become more out of control and drunk on power and willing to destroy this country to steal an election to continue on this madness. I've seen the brutality of more than just one side of this situation. And I've seen the lack of common sense and the worst leadership ever known to man or woman in this country. Our youth are being led astray and making decisions that they are too young to make that will affect them a lifetime. And the Democrats is okay with that, but conservatives are not because we know the long term. I know some of y'all are disappointed that your candidate didn't win. Even my supporters are disappointed in the way it went down. However, nothing in this world is easy or expected to be fair. It's what you fight and overcome and how much you maintain your morals and values and let people know that you don't have to change to be accepted because I made sure I'm the definition of that. See, you either earn respect or people are going to continue to tell you what to do, how to think, and how to act. We have Governor Northam and the Democrats to thank for that. And now they have their token in Biden to help them along the way with their agenda. Indoctrinating our kids to think what they are doing is right. And what they are doing is leading our kids into the devil's path. This is more important than us who are older, and I'm going to say it. Because right now we are all worried about children and the future that they are going to have regardless of the situation. And we are trying to change that future from what the Democrats already have put into play on steroids. A country of socialism where we are a country that protects our freedoms and our rights. The other side wants to take that all away and want to buy you off and think that money can replace who you are as a person and what you want to be and who you will become. We need to get off of this money makes leaders and find leaders that are made without money. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said it best. Because if we don't, the consequences is natural in how it ends. We lose. You can't talk about one thing while this Commonwealth is going broke. Businesses are closing. Church doors have been closed. We can't even protect the history that we even have. What do you think they're going to do in our future when they don't have the respect to preserve its past? We will be doomed to repeat the past because we forgot the building blocks that led to it. There is nobody immune to this in no kind of way or fashion. Now, this election ain't over. Glenn Youngkin hasn't won. He is going to face a party that has way more money than him. He's going to face a party that hates us. He's going to face big tech that's going to do everything to try to censor him. So we got to speak out loudly when that happens. And we need to continue to do so regardless of the situation. It's too many people who have said they don't know Glenn Youngkin, and that's not Glenn Youngkin's fault. That's yours. If you didn't take the time to research and vet your candidates in their entirety, the ignorance isn't on the candidate, the ignorance is on you. This is not the time to bow your head because you didn't get what you wanted from your vote. But expect better and do your best to make change so this doesn't happen in the future if you had that much of a problem with it. Or you could run yourself. Candidates know what it takes to win. They know what it means to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning talking to voters and then being back on the road within a mere few hours and trying to bring that same energy to the campaign as they did by taking time away from their sleep to talk to you. Candidates do more than just campaign. We talk to the sick and the shut in. We talk to people who feel like they have given up. And sometimes it's those conversations we have where those people don't expect for us to have. That gives them strength and courage and uplift to continue on another day with clarity and clear mind compared to thinking that no one cares. And we have a whole lot of Virginians out there who lost their job, those who are contemplating suicide. We have those who are addicted to opiates. We have those who have lost everything and they feel like nobody's speaking up for them. And they're trying to warn others. Don't make the same mistake that we have and thinking the government is going to do right by us. It's us, the people, who make up that government. The problem is we have chosen poorly, moving on with whoever decided to represent us. And you are disappointed in that. But the problem is you keep voting for the same thing and expecting different results. So I encourage candidates, if you spent most of your time frame the running for the nomination, Glenn Youngkin's going to need your help winning all of Virginia. Because that's what it takes to win elections. Just like I have committed to back the nominee, so should everybody else. Because this is a war now. We finished the battle. A war to wake people up to a future that they don't understand. And trust me, they took away education for a year. So it makes it even harder to put the pieces together that one path leads to your doom and the other protects your freedoms. Nobody can do it alone. So, to this great Commonwealth and to my fellow Republican brothers and sisters, we are going to fight like hell to make sure Glenn Youngkin is the next governor of Virginia that represents all of Virginia and making that message loud and very clear. Now, my future is going to be very interesting. I haven't made a decision yet on whether I'm going to run for the 7th District of Virginia to become the next Virginia Senator. And when I do make that decision, you will know. But in this meantime, we all need to get back focused on doing what we claimed that we would do as Republicans and conservatives by making sure we win in 2021. Because not only our Commonwealth depends on this, America does too. God bless you, and God bless America. And y'all have a wonderful day.